Okay, my homies, we're gonna hit this one more time. For some reason, my recording equipment is not working today. Phew. But we persevere, right? We stick with the plan and we push through all that we can. In rhymes and rhymes and rhymes. I'm not in the mood for it. All right, so we're gonna break down today AAVE. We're gonna break down ALGO. We're gonna break down ELROND. Reason being is they are trading beautifully. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you from my trading perspective and strategy and why, yes, I am in trades on 2 of 3 of those assets. And at the end, I'll let you know which ones. So we have the pattern, the levels, and the timing. You could say the pattern, the count, and the timing. Now, the pattern tells me what to trade. If it's a good pattern, it's a pattern I can understand and identify, then obviously that's an asset I want to trade. If the levels, the count, right? Level 1, level 2, level 3, peak formation, reverse. If that is apparent or whatever level I'm at tells me what direction to trade, right? If we're at a level 2, then obviously we have more upside. So if I'm entering there on the retrace, I'm going long. However, if we've reached a peak formation and we're at a level of an M or a variation on an M, then of course I'm looking for shorts. And the third aspect is timing, which tells you what session are you in? Look for the highest liquidity sessions. That's the US session and when London is open as well. Asia, especially when Tokyo is open, fantastic time to trade as well. So here we're going to just go right into it. We have our bottom in June. And so we're going to bring it out to here. Now I am going to draw this 2 ways for you all. We're looking at AAVE and this is how I just figure out where we're at. Boom. Kind of a head and shoulders M formation there. I'm just going to draw it as an M. Retrace 1, retrace 2, level 3. Level 3 was not a W, it was a V play. So we're already shifting out of level 3 and we're in level 1. Retrace, rise. That's what I'm expecting with AAVE. That's why I'm playing with AAVE with y'all. All right, here's another way I like to do it because this kind of, the boxes create support and resistance lines for me, which is really clean. So if you notice, look at this, I'm going to box all the price action up and you'll see that they meet each other. They don't overlap much. You'll see me do it again right here and boom. So we have our peak formation. We have our consolidation level 2, consolidation level peak formation, consolidation level 1, consolidation level 2, and then peak formation. Boom. I'm going to get rid of those. Another way to look at that, this is why people draw horizontal trend lines. Oh my gosh, this really works. Guys, this is crazy. It's like really works. You should come check this out, you guys. You can even put this one up here as more of the price action is there. You notice the resistance has to break through to really make the move. Anyways, that is something. Now, my horizontal lines are actually raised because they are based on an indicator, not based on price action. But you will see that I draw them and price action respects them far after the point in which I got the signal to draw them. They create points of interest, areas of interest in which price action is likely to return to, just like the imbalanced liquidity, imbalances, liquidity, or unfinished auctions. If you rock exo charts, you know what I'm talking about. If you rock the PVSRA method or Steve Morrow market method or trader at home, like you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, though, let's get right back to it. So I love about AAVE, look at this volume. Beast mode. These are huge transactions. The colored bars here show vector candles that are in the charts, which means that the transactions per candle were off the chain. That means price was moving, changing hands constantly, which is a good sign that the market maker is at work doing their job and traders are in the charts. So, because no one can sell if no one's buying and no one can buy if no one's selling. All right. So now we're going to jump right into my markups. And I just want to show you real quick, taking all this off. these are when I got the prints. Okay. Now I got the print back here. And of course we shifted away. We retraced to it, broke through it. But of course, just like these lines, support resistance act like magnets. So you get too far away and it's going to attract you back in. You get too close and that price is going to be repelled away. So here's the force, draws it back in. Guess what? Stopping volume candle shifts out. That is your freaking sweetest entry. Sweetest entry. Same thing happens here. Look at these. This is an older one. So if it's a darker blue, it's an older one. If it's a thicker line, it's shows that there was less contraction and volatility. So to me, there's slightly less importance on it, but you'll notice that it stays relevant. Look at that. It stays relevant all the way through here. However, this one, right, price actually moves so quickly away from it. I can guarantee you, once you've established your peak formation, you see the drop, retrace, rise, drop, retrace, drop again. You will find your way right back here to that line. And I'm going to put a white, look at that. Look at that. That's the line right there. That's the line right there. Sniper freaking entries, sniper freaking exits. Anyways, yeah. So these are all based on signals. That's why they're not horizontal lines, because I got this signal on the 14th of September. And you'll see that, guess what? Price has not come up to it, gets far enough away from it, finds support, call an entry around there. Boom, take your exit up here. Great trade. Now we look for what's happening next. Are we forming some double top, or is this the retrace rise to the next point of interest and the next point of interest? So that's where we're at. I'm going to bring. All right. So the TDI, what we got on the TDI. Okay, cool. So rejection, bullish control zone, rejection from the bearish control zone in the 4-hour chart, but the 1 hour showed this beautifully. Look at this rejection right there at the 40 mark. Couldn't get any sweeter, any better, with a shark fin TDI to the bottom. That's the fake out for people to start going short. You got the support on the 200, which crossed the 800. You're gonna see a retrace to test that to move out of the range. We're seeing it now. If you're in a short, consider taking profit or cutting your losses, because this is promising. This is promising. And if you look at the volume, you got this steady rising volume. Boom, just beautiful, steady rising volume here. So we're playing a good game, to the upside. Is it news? Because we got the news this morning, but this move has been happening for the week. But the news this morning that the Fed is pivoting, just a hint that the Fed might be pivoting, that they've reached their terminal rates, unprecedented terminal rates. They got to pivot, So anyways, I just wanted to show y'all here. Remember the patterns, the levels, the timing. All right, let's go back to the bottom here. Okay, I see the M formation. Boom, 1, 2, M clock, retrace, drop, retrace, drop. Beautiful W down here. Beautiful W down here. Retrace, rise, retrace, test, and rise is what I'm expecting there. Now, I have a limit order in on EGLD. I am not in on EGLD. You finding out. Boom. Okay, so that is just a beautiful way to see what's happening here. You have the complete pattern. You got all three levels. And now we can look into the timing. But look real quick again, just like AAVE. Look at this retracement. Bring it out a little bit so you can really see it. 0.786. That in a bear market is strength, in my opinion. You get a Fibonacci is also a great sign of strength, but this to me as well. Now let's go look at EGLD. Mark my words. This is a thicker contraction of volatility. So I got this CPR print on June 14th, and it's older, yes. It's darker blue, therefore, and it's thicker. But mark my words, we will see a $41.75 or a $42 EGLD. Elrond is coming back for that at some point, if not lower. Here you go, 0.786 retrace, and the 0.886 is right there on our line. I love that confluence. Now, of course, I'm using GAN fans here. It's not something I typically do. I also don't typically use trend lines, but I had to point this out because, again, it's trading beautifully. It really is. So you take a look here. You got the M formation. We showed that. We showed the retrace. We're in the W formation. Now, look at this most recent print down here. It's just sprungboard right off of that. And it left a lot of unfinished auctions. It left a lot of liquidity down here. And so I do expect a return to here. Now, whether it returns maybe around this area where it can then bounce off that GAN fan, I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. I prefer fib channels, which I'll show you up next in the algo analysis. Now, the reason I loved and got myself in, no, not in on EGLD, is this is not a guarantee, but 3 points, very recent print of the CPR line, confluence with the GAN fan, confluence with the trend line. And let's look at those trend lines real quick. That trend line showed beautiful support, resistance. So maybe the line show you a little better. Resistance, support. I don't like that line better. I apologize about that, but you can see that. So if you know anything about trading, you can see that played out beautifully. Now we're working with the GAN fan on this uptrend, and it's stellar. And then again, this blue line is more important to me than any of the other trend lines, GAN fans, even fib channels, because they are points of interest in which traders step in, which the market maker steps in. Whether you believe the market maker manipulates price, it's up to you. You don't need to believe it to trade like a savage. Okay. What else can we speak to here? It's above the 50. The 50 has officially crossed the 200. Now I am expecting price targets up to the 800. We haven't tested it yet in this bear market's bottom. Okay, beautiful rejection on the 4 hour on this uptrend. Beautiful rejection from the bearish control zone right there at that 40 mark. It just doesn't get any better than that. And this is exactly what you want to see in an uptrend. You want to see the uptrend come up and then retrace, reject the bearish control zone, and then beginning this whipsaw zigzag pattern upwards. That's the 4 hour. Let's check the 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour is also showing, okay. I mean, if we break down below here, that's an invalidation. But you're also seeing a nice W play right from the bearish rejection, the bearish control zone rejection. I kind of struggle with those words. They're new words to me that I use to describe now so people can relate to my analysis, what goes on in my head, and the words I like to use inside of my brain. But yeah, I love this, right? On the 1 hour, breaks through the 800 and retest right around our CPR print, fires off from there. And again, I expect this test some volatility. The one thing I will say is this could, I mean, there's definitely some good liquidity coming into everything. If you saw how dead it was back here, but check this out. This could happen, right? This could be the W. Sometimes I was like, oh, that's the first level. I don't think that's the first level. Boom. Rise level 1, rise level 2, retrace. I'm expecting it to hold here before we hit a level 3. And that level 3 could very well happen right around here, 64.30. Let's see what that would be on the macro retracement. Yep, 64.30 is exactly the 0.786 retracement. Now, if you look back over here, you'll see that EGLD likes to retrace around that area. 0.866 for sure. Yep, 0.866 retracement on that one. Could very well see that exact retracement, 0.786. I'm going to be taking profits if it hits at the 800 and looking for shorts. Just depends, because there also is some great points of interest up here at $77. But mark my words, you will see Elrond at $42 again at some point. It just seems to work out that way. Now, can you base a trading strategy off that? No. But can you be aware of it and learn from this? Yes. Hopefully this recorded. I am pretty tired of doing 3 recordings of the same nonsense. And I got to do algo. We got to do algo. All right, algo real quick. Let's do algo real quick. Let's do algo on Binance. Algo. Here we go. Algo. Here we go. Should hire me to do the voice of Mario, not Chris Pratt. Actually, I love Chris Pratt. But controversy. Controversy. Everyone loves controversy. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, in hindsight, I can try to pick 3 levels of rise out there, but I can certainly tell you that this is John Wick 3 up in here. Look at that. Murder everywhere. Just wicking to the upside, going nowhere. Again, coming to the upside, going nowhere. Look at it in the 12-hour chart. Look at that wick to the upside action. And you got stopping volume candles 2 in a row after a push to the upside. And it just really doesn't break that high. That's phenomenal. Looking at all time frames is phenomenal. Okay, now we're going into the juice of algo. What? Yes, fib channels. I love them, but people can be like, dude, you got too much going on your charts. I get it. I've learned to tune out the noise. And so this might help you tune out the noise. This line has been crazy good support, and we have now pushed above it with strength. Doesn't mean we're not going to retest it. That retest, that retrace to retest, that is crucial. But I do love these fib lines. And if you take a look here, look at this print back here. We got this tight CPR print, and we got love and support, and then broke it, retested, rejected. All playing up here, all playing before these. Look at these wicked moves that have come off of this thing. I mean, if you just played them and then set your stop, once it moved away, and set your stop loss just above break even to cover fees, you would, okay, that'd be frustrating. You'd make some money, but then you'd leave money on the table essentially. You'd get taken out of your trade, but not at a loss. And then the same thing, you break through, you test it, you enter, and then once it moves away, you set your break even stop loss. And again, you got another move. Checking this trend line. This trend line has been freaking massive. So yeah, taking your profit there, great. If you see it come back down, it's giving you another chance. And again, boom, this monster move. So this has been a monster line, and of course we return to it because that's what we do. We've returned to it again because that's what we do, and we've now broken through some major support that flipped as resistance, and I'm eager to see if we test and shift out because we have more points of interest with these CPR prints up here, and I'm expecting that. So my entry is also in algo. It's in AAVE, nothing yet in Elrond, and the reason, let me see, let me just show you that. It's pretty minor. It's been fluctuating. All right, so those are my entries. Entry price. This is the market price. This is my liquidation prices. I do have stop losses set. Only up like $500 here at the moment. It's not a big deal. It's not a ton of liquidity. And as you can see, I don't play with high leverage. 17 is high for me. So the moves I like to capture don't require high leverage, and I'm in the market for longer, so I don't need high leverage. I just put down a little more margin. And if you don't understand how that works, you need to understand how that works. It's taken me a while to understand. For example, if you put down a ton of margin and you crank your leverage, it actually doesn't mean that you're going to get more money because your leverage is higher. So it's weird. It's weird, but play with that on whatever exchange you're using. With the take profit before you enter a trade, notice that your take profit, your stop loss, the money you'd lose versus the money you'd make, the risk versus the reward, might not fluctuate the way you think. Ooh, Phantom making some moves. So anyways, we're back here. And that's that. I just want to say that all W's form below the moving averages. And all M's form above the moving averages, as you can see here. M formation above the moving averages. V-shaped recovery, W's forming below the moving averages. So I like what I'm seeing. And again, I've recorded this video 3 times, so I'm tired and I know it's not as good. But if you like this kind of stuff, please stay tuned. And let me know, because I want to teach these courses on how to create fib channels. I don't create them like anybody else. I create fib circles not like anybody else. And these CPR prints are unique to my settings and my indicator. And they're phenomenal. So if you just take off all of this price action, all right, I drew these lines without looking at price. This is how I saw with my indicator. Boom. I saw these and I drew them, and then I turned on my price action and I took a look, and it is uncanny. Boom. Resistance, support, drops down. I'm expecting this one to be revisited. Definitely expecting that one to be revisited, which is why I'm in longs and I know where my take profits are. How many people do take profits based on this? Well, I just need a 1-to-1. 2-to-1. 2-to-1 sounds good. I feel good about this trade. Let me move it out to 2-to-1. Nah, man, I'm not that way. I like to trade from one peak formation to the next peak formation. Anyways, let's take a look back here. Powerful, right? Powerful. So we've already looked at all this. Hey, thanks for dropping in. Whoa, I almost dropped off my freaking feet. Thanks for dropping in. This has been a long one. Appreciate y'all. If you like this content, let me know. Ask questions. I'm bringing more of it. It is the heat. It is the fire that's mixing in with my studio sessions.